Good morning. I'd like to call the meeting to order of the April 25th, 2025 Pittsburgh Regional Transit meeting. The first order of business is we're going to please rise if you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance and also for a moment of silent reflection, I should say, reflection. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we'll call the roll. Member Turman.
Present.
Member Totten.
Present.
Senator Williams.
Present.
Representative Abney.
Present.
Member McClenny.
Present.
Member Berdinger.
Present.
And I believe virtually Member Doyle
Present.
and Member Shuker.
Present.
Thank you. I believe that's all members that are present for the meeting accounted for. Our first order of business is the approval of the minutes from the March 25th, 2025 regular meeting. I'll ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Hearing motion and second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Our next item of business will be our report from our Chief Executive Officer.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Wow, full house. How many folks are here for the Safe Driving Awards? Tyron, where's your hand? Thank you. All right. Well, so then we have a bunch of folks also joining us for regular business too. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day, tempting not to be here. So thank you for your focus. May I please have a moment of silence for the following retirees who are no longer with us. Operators Charita Austin, Myron Yates, Chuck Farkas, William Harris, John Gombos, and Charles Koenig, farebox repair person Harry Wolf, dispatcher Alice Bartley, auto mechanic Charles Scullin, instructor Michael Henry, and technician William Kellington. I know I spoke about Chuck last month. I just want to stress that while I spoke a lot about Chuck, every single person here has devoted their life and their time. Evenings they could have been home with their kids or going out to soccer practice. They all contributed to making this a great agency. So a heartfelt thanks, and we are sorry for everybody's loss. Like, I have a moment of silence. Thank you. As we continue to have discussions around our funding crisis, we have heard a lot of heartbreaking stories from riders about potential loss of service. I want to share some of those stories with you today. People like Maria, a single mother from Marquise Rocks. Maria works as a home health aide and caring for elderly clients in their homes throughout the county, and we get her to work. Her shifts often start very early in the morning, and she travels between clients' homes all day. She starts her day on the 20 to get to her first client. Maria doesn't own a car. Between rent, groceries, childcare for her 8-year-old son, she doesn't have room in her budget for the money that it takes to maintain a car. So we start her day on Route 20, and then she takes a combination of routes, sometimes 2 with the transfer, sometimes 3, to make it to her next appointment. She has become a master of scheduling. Maria, we have your number next time we need a scheduling opening. But ideally, we keep you in the life that you have now. She often waits in the cold or the rain. And she recently heard that Route 20, the one that starts her day off and brings her home, is one of the lines on the chopping block due to funding cuts. She doesn't know how she'll keep her job that makes her life happen if she does not have this route. We've also heard from folks like James, a 67-year-old Army veteran. Thank you for your service, James, who lives in the Hill District. He retired early due to a back injury, and he has a modest fixed income. He uses a mobility aid to get around. These cuts might not keep James from the VA, the grocery store, veterans group, but they will make visiting his son and grandkids in Wilkinsburg a lot harder than it needs to be. So maybe James can do some trips, but he can't do the trips that make his life, the quality of his life happen. For Maria and James and many more folks, PRT is more than a transit system. It's a lifeline to dignity, stability, and opportunity. It's a job creator. It's a connector for people to opportunity. And for a lot of these folks, there is no plan B. There is no other option for them. We get these folks to work. We get them to class. We get them to doctor's appointments. We get them to their places of worship. We get them to the movies. My friend Vicky met her husband at a bus stop in East Liberty. Hopefully we're responsible for more weddings than we are for breakups, but we truly make life happen. This is accessibility. It's particularly important to lower income families, multi-generational families that live in the same house, to seniors and to students. This isn't just important, it's vital. This is life. But here is a challenge. Starting July 1st, we face a projected budget shortfall of $100 million in next year. That budget deficit increases. Now, I see a lot of familiar faces. We've talked about how our state funding was a 10-year platform that several years expired, that state funding might go up 3% a year, and our costs can go up anywhere from 7 to 10%, and that's just holding with everything that we're doing. We get a lot of conversations about, has PRT saved money? To quote the vernacular, we have been saving money. Going back 12 years to the passage of Act 89, our unions negotiated different benefit structures to help us make ends meet and get more service on the street. We have done unprecedented things, and I don't just mean a 4-year wage freeze for non-bargaining folks. I mean bringing our IT servers back in-house while other folks are taking servers out saves $1 million a year. We refinance debt. That's $3 million a year. Our HR team, I don't see Inez because she's, oh, there's Inez. I thought we had you locked down, working. Inez's group is tireless in looking through different ways that we can slice and dice our benefits so we can make sure that we are getting folks what they need in the most cost-effective way. I see AJ here today. So AJ's group in engagement and advocacy, how do we make sure folks are included, but in a way that we're not breaking the bank? So for instance, we will be hosting a vendor day on May 14th. We're really excited about, but the goal here is to connect our primes to smaller businesses so we can grow our economy, but be cost efficient at the same time. PRT has been focusing on drawing down these costs. And frankly, we've cut the fluff, and now it's where service is where we go. $100 million deficit is nothing to sneeze at. Without additional state operating assistance, we're looking at reducing more than 1/3 of our service. We would lose 41 bus routes. 41 bus routes. We have peers that don't even operate anywhere near that service. We're discontinuing what would be an entire system in other cities. Over another 50% would have less service. Access paratransit would be a shell of what it is today. And even with drastic cuts to access, what we would still be serving is very difficult to get to. Folks would have longer waits, more transfers, and fewer options. And that option might include a 2-mile trip to get to your stop in the first place. Now, our reserves allow us to float for a short time, but reserves run out. And part of our approach in this budget has been to make sure that we can land after our customers, our stakeholders and passengers have enough time to react, to speak to their friends in the legislature, and to see what that new reality is going to be. When transit stops, the economy slows down. Employers lose access to their workforce, congestion gets worse, communities are less connected and less equitable. The cuts we're talking about remove 50,000 jobs and 180,000 people from direct service. And that doesn't even include a transfer. Maria might be able to get to work from the 20, but if her clients aren't on a bus line, how can she do her job? These are cascading effects. Now, we know that public transit pays off. Every dollar invested in transit returns $4 to the local economy, and we are a picture of that. PRT has spent $2 billion in the Commonwealth in the past 5 years. It's one of the smartest, most effective investments we can make. And regardless of how much or how little service that we're running, we still then continue to invest in riders, our staff, and our future. Infrastructure still needs to be maintained, and training for employees is as important as ever. Whether we have 2,600 employees or we have 1,800 employees, they still need training. Folks still need support. We still need phones. So you will see us coming to our committees with procurements on things which support the broader agency. They are not expansions. They are bare bones. For our riders out there, we have put freezes in-house on our non-essential hiring. We have freezes on our non-essential travel. We are ratcheting through every single expense that comes out from this building. Our legal team has recently, legal and safety recently has recommended a change in how we take cars if you have to go to Ohio. Why would you go to Ohio? Kidding, we love you, Ohio. You're not Pennsylvania, but we love you. But instead of doing a rental car or fully insuring our entire fleet, is there a more cost-effective way that we can be covered and save money that can go back into service? We are paying attention to this all the time. You will see a BRT project going for capital that's been planned for 10 years. And at the same time, we're looking at what's the most cost-effective way to get tickets out there. Can we save money by making sure there's free Wi-Fi and you can get a ticket on a smartphone while ensuring folks who don't have that access can get a ticket? And that's a calculation we do every single day. So we continue to adapt and modernize and improve because it's what you want. It's what you deserve here in Allegheny County. But here's the fun part. None of this is possible without the people who make it work every single day. So yay, time to start talking about our safety awards. Our employees are the heart of our organization. It's operators, mechanics, supervisors, service workers, dispatchers. Can't forget our Port Authority police. Can't forget our folks in IBW who answer that phone when you are looking for your trip. These are the ones who carry responsibility for safely transporting our region every single day. Rain, snow, detours, breakdowns, landslides. Let me not jinx myself on anything else. These are things that our system deals with every day, and our amazing employees get this all done. Nancy, you know what these calls sound like. You know the magic that goes on. Thanks for letting me call you out. Folks aren't just doing a job. They are providing a service that keeps our economy alive. And today we would like to recognize just a few of our operators who are getting safety awards. Every year, we honor a group of extraordinary folks who have a safety and reliability commitment. These are folks who've gone years, sometimes even decades, without a preventable accident. And at the risk of being a broken record, if you drive 15,000 miles a year, you will drive from age 16 to 91. That'll be 1,000,000 miles. If you can do that without an accident, we would objectively say you were fantastic, you were wonderful. We have operators here who've racked up that 2 million miles, sometimes 3 million, without a single preventable accident. And again, I didn't get off my permit before I drove into a gas pump. So kudos to you. It's an amazing accomplishment. It's discipline, it's focus, and it is the foundation of our Safe Driving Awards. So I'm going to call you up here and we're going to shake hands. You don't have to hug. I know COVID is out there. But 20 accident-free years. Todd Laurent and Troy Wing.
That's pretty impressive.
Okay, we live. Troy, and they give you your award.
Maybe you just step for me a little bit. A little happy.
A little happy. Now it's like. I know
KK, stand here. She's funny.
Thank you.
Troy has 22 years and Todd has 28 years here. Todd is threatening to retire and Troy just wants to go to the gym, I think is what I heard. So there we go. Wow, 25 years accident free. We have a big crowd. Timothy Boback, Timothy Clark, Anthony Cross, Paul Filico, and Linda Washington. Latanya is here for Tim. Come on.
No, I was, anything. Hey, anything of what? You missed the last. Oh, yeah, I did. How long was that? It went on forever.
I'll do one more. Thank you.
I mean.
All right, we'll look right here. A little happy, one more. Thank you. One more here. Thank you.
Yeah, not gonna be false.
The moms.
Vacation.
All right, here. One more?
Michael Young.
One more? Thank you.
Seems like along with being a safe driver, people hate to get their picture taken. So we apologize, but thank you everybody for posing. And then final comment, we will have our first public hearing next week, April 29th, the Convention Center, 9 to 1, 3 to 7. This is where you can enter your formal comment into the record. There's more information on our website, and we're pushing out more content about how to register and how to speak. Registration is recommended but not required. You can also walk up, but registration helps us figure out ahead of time how many folks will be there. I look forward to seeing you there. And Madam Chair, unless there's any questions, this concludes my remarks.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item of business is the report from the Performance and Oversight Committee. Chair McClenny.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair, and hello to everyone present. The Performance Oversight Committee met last week, and I have one resolution for the board's consideration. The committee reviewed 4 procurement items and determined the bids to be in accordance with PRT's procurement policies and procedures, and the prices to be fair and reasonable. The Performance Oversight Committee recommends authorizing the award of bids listed in the resolution for the total amount of $2,143,097.30. My fellow members, I respectfully request the board approve this resolution.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion to approve?
Second.
Hearing a motion second, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
The committee also reviewed a quarterly update of upcoming solicitations. Unless there are any questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Next, we have the report of the Planning and Stakeholders Relations Committee. Chair Turman.
Sure. Good morning, Madam Chair, fellow board members and stakeholders. The Planning and Stakeholders Relation Committee met last week. I have a few items for the board. First, staff presented an update on Next Transit downtown infrastructure plans. The Next Transit downtown project was designed to update downtown bus routes ahead of the PRTX University line updates. Beginning in 2023, these service routings have been slowly implemented over the last 5 or 6 service changes. Ahead of the June 22nd, 2025 service updates, which included the bus university line downtown changes. Some infrastructure will be installed, including module curb extensions, which serve as bus platform adjustments to the sidewalk at 6 locations downtown to provide space for waiting riders at larger volume stops or areas with small sidewalks. These platforms are made of composite rubber materials and are alternatives to permanent concrete curb extensions. The platforms of this style is in place at Liberty Avenue at 10th Street and has been there for several years for reference. There would also be some changes to the signs and pavement markings to support these platforms and some bus turning movements. Routing adjustments, which will be presented in detail next month, includes nearly 20 bus routes, a dozen of bus stop changes in downtown with the Next Transit implementation. 2, Allegheny County Transit Council met April 3rd. Staff provide the council with an update on procurement of new rail cars. Their next scheduled meeting is May 21st. Number 3, the Committee of Accessible Transportation did not meet in April. Their regular meeting is scheduled May 8th. Unless there's any questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chair Turman. Our next report will be from the Finance Committee, Chair Doyle.
Good morning, Madam Chair and fellow board members. The Finance Committee met last week and I have one item to report. The following March 2025 financial results were presented. It was reported that total operating income for March was above budget by approximately $300,000 due to higher interest income. Total expenses for March were below budget by $3.1 million due to every expense category being under budget except for the utilities and access categories. Through March, total operating income is about $1.1 million higher than last fiscal year due to higher interest income and advertising revenue. Passenger revenue is $22,000 below last fiscal year. Total expenses through March are $1.3 million higher than last fiscal year due to all expense categories being higher except for the provision for injury and damages and employees' benefits categories. Total subsidy through March is $91.1 million lower than last fiscal year due to lower preventative maintenance invoicing and the completion of federal stimulus invoicing. Finally, it was reported that PRT ended March with $417.1 million in operating reserves. Unless there are any questions, that concludes the report of the Finance Committee.
Thank you very much. Our next report is the report of the Technology Committee, Chair Berginger.
Good morning, Madam Chair, fellow board members, and everyone present in the room. The Technology Committee met on April 17th, and I have one resolution for your consideration today. The committee reviewed one bid. The item presented was for employment, testing, and validation services. The committee determined the bid to be in accordance with PRT's procurement policies and procedures and the price fair and reasonable. The Technology Committee recommends the award of the item as listed in the resolution for the total amount of $348,000. My fellow members, I respectfully request that the board approve this resolution.
Thank you, Chair Berginger. With that, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Have a second? Hearing a motion and second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Unless there are questions, that concludes my report.
Thank you. The next item of business is going to be new business. I have a couple announcements and then I'm going to announce the formation of the nominating committee. Due to recent changes in the board's membership, I've appointed a few new members to our standing committees. I've also appointed a few chairs. So specifically, member Tia McClenny has been appointed the chair of the Performance Oversight Committee, which he has already served as an acting capacity. So I thank you for doing that for the board. Member Tom Berginger has also been appointed as the chair of the Technology Committee, and he's also serving in that capacity already. And I really do appreciate you doing that for us. As chairs of their respective committees, both member McClenny and Berginger will also be on the governance committee. That's part of the process. Chairs serve on that committee as well. Senator Lindsey Williams has been appointed to both the Performance and Oversight and Monitoring Committee and the Finance Committee, and Representative Abney has been appointed to the Planning and Stakeholders Relations Committee. I've also appointed 3 members to serve as members of the Nominating Committee. The chair will be Member Turman, and also serving on the Nominating Committee will be Member Doyle and Member Shuker. The Nominating Committee is being convened in order to identify candidates for certain board officer positions which are vacant due to departures of PRT members. So specifically, the vice chair position and the office of secretary position are both vacant. In order to fill those vacant officer positions, the PRT's board shall hold a special election at an upcoming meeting. Prior to that, the nominating committee will identify a slate of candidates to propose for consideration to be elected to fill those 2 vacant officer positions. Thank you for everyone who agreed to chair and be appointed to committees. I do really appreciate the support and all of the efforts of all members of the board. With that, if there's any questions related to those appointments, I'm available here or after the meeting as well. But thank you, and I do appreciate Chairman Turman doing the nominating committee. I feel like you've been doing it for a long time, and most recently it's been very frequent, but I do appreciate you doing that for us again.
Thank you.
So with that, we're going to move on to the next item of business, which we have public comment. On our list today, we have 3 people for public comment. The first will be Andrew Hussein. Is Andrew online? Do we know if Andrew's online? You registered in person? Okay, I don't see Andrew here. We'll move on. Giovanni Monte.
Montanino.
Say it again.
Montanino.
Montanino. Okay. I love it. I apologize that I did not say it properly, but welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you. My name is Gio. I live in Heidelberg. I've been riding PRT buses for many years. I rely on the bus to go to work, go to the train station, airport, Kennywood, Sandcastle, and more importantly, pirate games. This is my only means of transportation to get around Pittsburgh. It saves energy and the environment. When I first heard about PRT's proposed service cuts about a month ago, I was shocked and devastated. 40 bus routes will be eliminated, eliminating the Silver Line, closing the Collier and Ross garages, putting all service on curfew, which means ending service at 11 p.m. daily, and eliminating special service events, including the Pirate Games, Steeler Games, concerts, and more importantly, the NFL Draft next year. Many Pirate fans who attend Pirate Games only rely on the bus. If a particular game ends around the 10 o'clock hour, they will have to catch the last possible bus to head back home. If PRT puts all service on curfew at 11 o'clock, they'll have to get an Uber or a Lyft, which can cost around 15 to 30 bucks each way. That's not fair. Same goes if you want to go to Kennywood or Sandcastle. A typical cab ride would cost 15 to 30 bucks. Even myself, I can't afford parking fees. I can't afford Uber or Lyft. I can't afford to sit in very heavy traffic. If PRT does not have the funding, residents in the Scott Township neighborhoods of Kane, Lindsay Road, and Glendale will lose bus service altogether. The Glendale residents, which are served by the G31, will have to walk about a mile to catch the G2 to go to downtown, or the 31 to go to the grocery store. The 28X, which is a very popular inbound bus route as an alternative to the G2, will no longer go to downtown or Oakland. Instead, the bus will only travel between Carnegie and the airport, which will allow very long travel and wait times. I put together a petition on change.org to encourage the riders in Heidelberg, Scott, Carnegie, and other Pittsburghers to sign and to say if the Collier bus garage is shutting down, save bus service after 11 p.m., and stopping the cuts. I hope Governor Shapiro and the Senate can give us the $117 billion we need to save PRT, or else I'm going to have to cut back on my work days, reduce the number of pirate games to go to, and prepare for the unexpected. Thank you.
Thank you. Our final speaker is Ramesh Bhamwani. We know if he's online or in person today. Okay. Ramesh Bhamwani. Ramesh Bhamwani. Okay. With that, our next regular meeting of the board will be Friday, May 23rd. And with that, we're here adjourned.